as per normal, we'll start with buyer and seller needs and wants. Any new listings you got coming up, any buyer needs, any lender needs for better interest rates, anything like that. So what have you got?
I've got 2 listings coming up at some point.
Where? Or can you
right by Sky Ridge High School, one. Hopefully it'll be, well, the way it's coming, it was going to be about $1.5 million. It's about 600,000 now. No, I'm kidding.
You may not actually be be really honest.
And that's why it might not be coming up, but I'm still working on it. It's a nice property, an acre. It's down a private lot, a private lane. Maybe a drawback, but it might not be. It's on septic, and it has been its whole existence up in there, but all the homes are, which is interesting. And then I've got one coming up in Eagle Mountain, just nice little family home right there. And so I've got both of the PRs pulled, but I'm just waiting. The one is on probate. It's kind of had to go through that whole process, and so kind of working on that with the attorney. So, and Amy's been kind of working on that a little bit with back and forth. The attorney's been really interesting. So,
aren't all attorneys really?
Oh, I know, crazy. So,
yeah.
Those are 2 listings that I've got.
Okay.
So,
Anybody else?
Jeff, I have a couple listings.
Go ahead, Shelley.
So I have a 4-plex in Provo that's listed at 970. I have another 4-plex coming up that's slightly larger. We're going to list at 980. And then I have one in Santaquin listed for 449. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath on a bigger lot. And then of course I have my famous townhome that I can't get rid of in Spanish, right across from the sports park.
What's the price on that one?
The price on that is $369 currently, but you know how the market is.
We'll take an offer, is what you're saying?
I think all my people will take an offer. We'll see what the offer is, and who knows. So
ask me what the rents are for the 4-plexes.
What are your rents on the 4-plexes?
they're not high enough. That's why they're still on the market. So the one is.
You're really selling us here. Thank you.
Believe me, I'm trying to sell it, and they're not helping me sell it. So the one is month to month. The 970 is month to month, and they are $1,050 and $1,100 a month. The other one is 980, and those are all $950 a month. So yeah,
Just 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
What's the configuration on the unit? 2-bed, 1-bath?
yeah, they're all 2-bed, 1-bath, all of them, both 4-plexes.
Yes.
How big is the townhome?
Townhome is a little over 1,400 square feet. It's 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and has 2 living rooms and a 2-car garage.
The Salisbury ones that are like 5 levels.
Yeah, that's why it's still on the market. Who doesn't want to like get exercise every day of your life when you need to go to the bathroom, right?
You get plenty of flights of stairs. All right, thanks, Shelley. Anybody else?
hey, since we're talking about listings, I actually do have a listing that I need buyers for. It's a townhome or a condo in Pleasant Grove. Out on the market, I was at 325, and we dropped it to 299.9, and I've had a total of, since we lowered it to under 300, haven't had any showings, and that was over a week ago. And before that, I only had 3 showings. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm not overpriced. Well, I guess for what's out there, but there's been other homes that have sold. I don't know. It's just so frustrating. So.
Want me to tell you what's wrong with you?
No, this isn't a self-help therapy. I know I got lots of problems.
25 years.
I know I got lots of problems. I just want that house sold.
Notice he didn't say what's wrong with the house.
The house is perfect. But yeah, I don't know. Any help there on any suggestions of condos that are selling?
Anybody got any under contract right now? It's a tough market right now.
Are people selling houses right now?
Selling
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I mean, things are going under contract still. The numbers are down for sure, but still stuff going under contract.
I've still got one, listed in Levan, and it's, I'm not gonna try to oversell it, it's old and it's overpriced.
How much
There
land?
you go. 2.6, I believe.
It's on a good chunk of land.
Nice horse property.
I got a guy that has hounds, and so he'd fit right in Levan.
Might work for you. The house is older. It does need some work and some updating. But possibly, an offer at this point might be something they'd be willing to look at.
What price are you at on
They're
it?
sitting at 520.
520? What do you think it should be listed at?
I'd probably,
As a listing agent, he's gonna tell you 520, because that's the correct answer.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Especially when you're on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, turn that camera off.
When your sellers are on camera with you, that's always a good time to tell you the wrong price.
I was at a cabinet company a week ago and just asked him, I said, well, how's business? He says, business is really good. I said, now ask me how business will be 60 days from now. I said, how's business gonna be in 60 days? He says, just today, I've had 13 jobs canceled. And he says, I have a minimum of been averaging about 3 to 12 cancellations every single day in the last week.
Who's this?
Cabinets?
This is a builder down in Rocky Ridge, Legolas Cabinet Company. And he says there's a lot of builders in Salt Lake that are no longer gonna continue with their spec homes. He says these 13 homes are all spec homes.
These are cabinet orders.
This is just cabinet orders, right, just cabinet orders. He says they just told us, hey, look, we can't afford it. He says, right now, we're having such a difficult time. He says, where we were putting foundations in and having the home sold at the time, that's not happening. We've got homes up in the air. He says, we're out golfing with some of the larger builders up in Utah County and Salt Lake County. They told us the same story. They says, yeah, we're trying to sell off ground right now. We're trying to get other builders to come and buy some of our ground. So he says, 60 days from now, I don't have an order. Now, he says, that might change in 30 minutes. Let me just tell you, snapshot right now, you're standing here in front of me, that's where I'm at. So, I mean, I think it's,
Barb?
I was just gonna make a comment. One of my clients wrote an offer with Richmond Homes for a house 2 months ago. And they told them 12 to 14 months to build it, and now it's gonna be done in January.
yeah,
Because their subs are looking for work and they, you know, it's
Yeah, you'll see build
definitely
times improve for sure.
how did it switch from 14 months out to January? Like what happened?
Because, yeah, you've got cancellations, you've got less people in the market, you've got less builds going on, and so
Say that again?
you've got less builds in the market, right? Less building going on, less
So you've got a
jobs,
surplus
more
of labor.
cancellation, so you've got more labor.
Got it.
Okay, we'll move on to our VIP vendors. Our first one is our sponsor, Aaron from Drone and Virtual Tours Real Estate. And so, Aaron, come on up. And then Brady Jackson from Edge will be after that. And then our late arrival, Inwest Title, who I don't have a thing for, will be after that. Big button, which is next.
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron. I'm a local real estate photographer offering interior and exterior photos, aerial photos, and Matterport virtual tours as well. I'll be real quick today. I just wanted to talk about virtual tours specifically. So there's a study out of California State Polytechnic University, and it concluded that including a virtual tour, like a Matterport virtual tour, for example, can increase the sales price of a property by 2 to 3%. So this means that for a property that would normally sell at $1 million, you could potentially sell it at between $1,020,000 and $1,030,000. And so if the average take-home pay for a real estate agent is 1.7%, then just the extra commission on top of that, simply just from including a virtual tour, could be as much as $340 to $510. So I made sure to not get statistics from somebody that might benefit from those statistics. Like I said, this is from a university out of California, State Polytechnic University. So additionally, I also did my own research just through Realtor.com. I wanted to see if successful real estate agents included virtual tours more often in their real estate listings. So I looked at the number of for sale listings versus the probability that the real estate agent included a virtual tour. I looked around through almost 100 listings, and I found out that agents with only one listing included a virtual tour about 14% of their time in their listing, whereas the agents with the most for sale listings included a virtual tour about 24% of the time. So that's about a 71% difference. So that's basically my pitch to you guys. I think that virtual tours, aerial photos, and interior exterior photos could really help you sell your listings. So is there any questions that you guys might have?
How long have you been doing photos?
I've only been doing it for about a month. I'm looking for more clients. So I've been working with 2 so far, Cole Tanner from Presidio Real Estate and Brad Butler from Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay,
So
what are your rates?
I got them right here. I'll just scroll through my photos real quick, some sample photos.
That doesn't look like it's done with an iPhone.
No.
It's a big step up for you, Peter.
Yeah. Now my flip phone. Sometimes I say my flipping phone.
I think aerial photos are really great because, for example, here's a property right here. You can show nearby attractions like a park or other things that you might want to showcase. You can get a better view of certain things in the backyard, playgrounds, what other amenities they might have. You can give a good perspective of the property lines and the general layout of the property. Give nice views of the mountains, nice scenery. Here's my rates right here. Complete package has a bunch of stuff. It does aerial photos, aerial video, interior, exterior photos, and a Matterport virtual tour. Probably the most recommended one would be this one right here, which is interior, exterior photos, aerial photos, and a Matterport 3D tour. That's for $274. And here are my other packages as well. This one just has interior, exterior photos, aerial photos, interior, exterior, Matterport 3D tour, interior, exterior photos only, and extra photo package if you need more than 30 photos for a listing. So that's about it. I'll pass out my business cards to everybody. You can pass them around. Any other questions?
Yeah, 2 questions for you. What's your time frame on scheduling the photos? So if I give you a call, how long after that do you have boots on the ground?
My schedule's pretty open right now, so I can usually come either same day or next day.
Okay. And then as far as your how you transition, thank you. As far as how you transition your photos, those photos, do you just do Dropbox or how do you?
Yeah, by Dropbox.
Yeah.
And then what's your turnaround? So if you went out today, when do you usually have those available?
Within 24 hours generally.
Nice. What's your background? Did you come in from photography before or what?
No, so I got a bachelor's from U of U in applied math. I guess that's why I showed you some statistics. But yeah, after I graduated from U of U, I worked for Morgan Stanley as a tax analyst. And I just decided that the 9-to-5 life wasn't really for me, and I wanted to do more for myself, kind of be my own boss and do the best I could, starting a business.
Gotcha.
So,
So do you personally do the photos then?
yes.
All right, thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Brady?
Thanks for letting me come today. So my grandkids call me Moondog.
Moondog, that's creative.
Moondog, yeah. So I've got a little one in Las Vegas, and she just, hey, Moondog. She doesn't even know my name. It's so funny, so funny. So I bought this bus off the auction for $400. I put a new engine in it, and just for the grandkids, just they swing around all over the place while we were driving. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get arrested. But if you're interested, we can take a tour, have lunch, and I think it's important you can't keep on top of our communities. And, I'll talk to you about it and see if you want to do something, take a vote, but feed you lunch. But if you can keep hum our communities in the back of your mind, and you have a client, you can just call, and I can run up this quick move-in list on an hourly. I mean, it changes hourly. Takes me a little bit to compile all the information, but right now we've got 50 quick moving condominiums, about 11 investor units. We haven't had investor units. They just get bid up all the time. But with this last iteration of interest rates, people have jumped out, and we're seeing a lot of cancellations this month. Last month we sold, I think 103 homes. This month I think we'll probably hit 60. So the market is softening, but it's nice for you to understand where all of our communities are at, and then let me do the work. I've partnered with Jack Andrews and Kyle Haskell, so we split everything 3 ways. So we don't really care who you work with, but we just cover each other and try to provide the best service we possibly can. Anything you want to do, if you want to host an event at our design center with clients, we'll feed them. We'll do anything creative that we possibly can right now. I used to import 4-wheelers from Japan, and I'd give them away at client events, and I could get them for $250, and I just reached out to my contact. Just to get it here was $1,800 in freight. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I used to get it for $250.
But that was in the 60s, right?
That was just a few years ago. So, and I'm wondering.
He wasn't talking
That's when he was
$2
booting puppies.
Yeah. And so I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do for giveaways? That'd be $3,000. But we're willing to do anything and invest in your brokerage and your business in these times to try and create some excitement. Whatever annual events you want to do, we're willing to do it. But anytime you have a client, I can whip this over and divide it into townhomes, single family. We have a lot of single families out in Eagle Mountain right now and Edge is willing to take a deal. It's deal time. Big deal time. We're giving away 3% on every deal if you go with a preferred lender, but you can get more than that. I'm not supposed to say that, but you can.
We didn't hear you.
Yeah, don't, it is recorded, isn't it?
Say what you want.
I'll cut this part out for you.
Oh, so, yeah, we're willing to deal.
Just tell us the lowest you've taken, Dee.
I'm working on one right now I'm trying to get like 30 grand more off a single family. There's some Indian friends and they're all talking and somebody got a deal and then they all know. And then they're like, hey, you told me you would tell me when Edge does a deal. I'm like, I didn't know, you know? So that's my battle today. But I think all builders, like, we're just talking about Eagle Mountain. I heard that DR pulled out of a lot of lots and it went back to the bank because the landowner, the deal went south and they called us and wanted 145 a lot. And we're like, no. And they're like, well, that's the cost. And we're like, well, that was the cost. We'll give you a 95. They're like, no. I'm like, okay, see you later. But lots are coming back. And so the market's changing fast, which it needed to, in my opinion. It needed to change. And I was talking to the owner of Edge and I'm like, there's a market segment that a lot of builders are missing, and that's that, you know, the rents have gone up on townhomes. They're 24, 25, I heard the other day, 2,800 a month on a 3-bedroom, 2,300 square foot townhome. And that segment, we need to get some product in there that they can transfer from rent to buy something. And so they're gonna look at that and work on that. So hopefully we can get you some product. We just bought, you know where the powder plant, the Trojan powder plant in Mapleton, we just bought all that land, and so they'll start moving dirt here shortly, and we'll start building condos, townhomes, and eventually there's view lots that are some of the best in all of Utah.
Is that by the Spanish Fork Canyon? You know?
Right by the windmills
Just
across the
yeah.
street.
Yeah.
And so as you,
It's a good area.
some of those, they might lean a little bit with the wind.
You had a wind fence?
But as you get up there further, you miss the wind tunnel, and it'll be really nice on the single family homes. So
What do you think the rent on the townhouse that's like, say, 1,600 square feet would be?
Oh, condos, just the 1272 3 bedrooms are going for 14 to 16 right now, so that's probably 2.
So your townhouse would probably be somewhere between those two.
Depends, is it 2-car garage?
One car.
1 car? Probably 18. Yeah.
Yep.
No, just in Bluffdale right there, they're getting 24, 23, 24 for 2-car garage. 24 is like the going rate right now, which, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it is.
Hey, what are you laughing at?
That's not even what I make in a whole month.
I mean, it just blows my mind. So there's a huge product market for that slab on grade 1,400 square foot townhome. That's the next market I think that builders have to get to, unless the prices drop. I don't know.
Thanks, Brady.
And sorry, one more question. So just turnaround time, if you did get somebody interested, what's your build time on, finishing out?
On a new build home?
Yeah, so like I brought somebody into Edge, I had to be a couple of years ago now, 1.5 to 2 years ago. And I think it was 9 months they were waiting to get in. What's
10 months.
time now? 10 months?
Yeah, I'm scared to even say anything because cities can't deliver us electric meters or the gas meters or the water meters. That's what holds up the whole bill.
Because of labor or what?
No,
What's
Supply. You know, we're done, or we're waiting for Dominion to lay the gas line, and they're so far behind. Our build time still, we could build a house in 5 months. Done. But it's just waiting for a few little items that causes problems.
Yeah, septic tank, propane tank.
That's where I'm at. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Brady.
Be a lot
Susie, Amy,
faster
who
than
wants
Zoom.
to run the show, both of you? All
Off the grid. And then you go.
Amy said she'd take it on, so I'm gonna
right.
be your cheerleader.
Amy.
So I'm Amy Adams. This is Susie Flinders. We are at Inwest Title. So just a little bit about us. We have 14, is it 14 now?
We're down to 13, but we did just open one in Moab
Moab.
for those, that, you know, adventurous.
So we have 13 offices, so you can use me and then I'll accommodate wherever you want to sign. If you want to sign in Tooele or St. George, anywhere like that, that's a nice thing that we can offer. And then we are doing a CE class here in a month and a half.
In November.
In November, so watch for that. Jeff will be announcing that. But my only suggestion these days and any time of the market is order your listings right away. Because you just never know what's gonna be on that property. For some weird reason, I'm seeing a lot of deceased people. I don't know why, because I felt like,
Right away.
yeah, but it was like about a year ago, I was seeing a lot of divorces, but that was probably because of COVID. But it's just really weird. So if it has to go through probate and doing all that, that just takes time. So that's just my only suggestion. So, and then Susie wants to announce the mini convention.
Yes, so UCAR is doing a mini convention, October 20th. And registration is open, it's free to agents. It's gonna have CE all day, breakfast, lunch, huge door prizes. It'll be Halloween themed and it'll be a lot of fun. So we're hoping we have a good turnout. There's gonna be a legal panel at the end.
Where's it
So
at?
you can have just at UCAR,
And how much CE do you get?
4 hours, because even the legal panel is now a CE.
So it's a 4-hour thing.
Well, it starts at 8:30 to eat and then 9 CE starts. Hour break for lunch and then the legal panel and then prizes. And then all the affiliates will have prizes as well. So there'll be it'll be really fun, a great networking event.
Yeah.
And I would love to see y'all's faces there.
Is it cool?
Oh, you won't see mine, I'll be in a mask, I'll be in costume.
Anyway,
That too.
so if you have any questions, reach out to us. We'd love to help. So
Thanks, Amy. Amy has been my go-to forever and ever. She's amazing. So if you guys don't have a time where you talk to Amy, she'll take great care of you. Like she said, I've got a deal right now closing where we're split between St. George and here, and she's taking care of the whole thing. So,
How good are you at returning phone calls?
amazing. I'll vouch. Amazing. You will get a return phone call. As good as me, almost.
I'll second Inwest, they've really done a great job,
thank you.
really done a great job,
Really good.
so.
All right, so vendors underneath our umbrella, we've got Dagley Insurance, we've got Encompass Lending and Veris Title. Just wanted to give a plug for Dagley today. If you go to fathomquotes.com, either you can go or you can send your client to fathomquotes.com. Takes you to this page and you can you click either that you're an agent or a client, so you can do it for your client. They can go and do it for themselves, whichever way you want to do it. I went and did it for my own home. I know Todd did it as well. And so you can just go and take that. They do home, auto, business, so they cover a pretty good gamut of insurance products. And these guys are pretty competitive, so just know it's worth sending your clients there. Just take a look at that when they're making a purchase, okay? Next, market stats.
So I have a question on the insurance. When you called, was it cheaper than what you were paying?
Well, so everything's different. So first, so the car the home wasn't. So it didn't make sense for me to switch at the time. For whatever reason, Dagley has a thing that if your home's over 5,000 square feet in Utah, they don't have a good policy writer here in Utah yet because they're newer here. So they got to get some more carriers to be more competitive. So that's why it didn't work for me, but it could work, for other people I know has, so.
Mine's only like 3,700. I don't know. People are calling.
It's at least
Mine
worth
renews next
doing.
month, that's what I'm
Oh,
asking.
Yeah,
well,
it's-
it doesn't hurt to get the quote.
Yeah, it's
I'm
super
just-
easy to get the quote.
Yeah.
They call you back, they give you the quote. It's
Yeah, I had
super
it,
easy.
but I think the
Super easy
same day
process.
they got back to me, had some questions, and then the next day they had all the information, so.
So totally worth it. Fathomquotes.com, go do it for yourself, even if it's just so you know what your clients are gonna get when they go there.
And I'll add, they tried to make it work. I mean, they went back and forth like for about 5 days trying to find different scenarios to make it work. I mean, they will try to do it to beat your, whatever you currently have, so.
Thanks.
All right, so market stats, what are our market stats looking like in August and September? This could not be less important. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to tell you what the stats were in August and September because it doesn't matter. I mean, if you look, this is the news from just the past couple of days, right? Mortgage rates now at 20-year high. 30-year mortgage rates hit 6.7% as buyers are facing payment shock.
And what date was that?
This was just 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause then it
3 days
was 7
ago.
and a quarter yesterday.
Yeah. So average interest rate on a 30-year was 6.7, up from 3.3 at the start of the year. While home prices have eased over the past couple months, they're still up 13% from a year ago. And that's causing an affordability issue, as we know, for homeowners, right? So mortgage rates, this is the 30 years, the top one over the past couple of months here. So you can see we kind of came in at a little over 5.5. We dipped down to just below 5. And then this is through the week of September 22nd. And now we're up above 7, right? So interest rates are crazy. They're going up. It's scaring the heck out of all clients, everybody. So where is the market headed? What should your sellers do? What should your buyers do? What is it that we should be doing? I want to hear from you. So tell me, what are you guys hearing out in the market? What are your clients doing? What are your prospects? What is it that you're hearing on the ground?
Well, I've heard luxury homes are down 29% in the last 2 months.
Pricing?
Yeah.
Luxury being what?
So that
What are
would
you
be top
classifying?
5% in the market.
Okay.
That's a drastic drop
Or-
for 2 months.
I'm having to weekly call my lender and say, what do my clients qualify for? I mean, I have a client that looked last week and this week they're 40,000 lower than they were last week. So, just staying on top of where rates are and not setting a unrealistic expectation with your buyer. So,
Great advice.
As you go along with the seller also.
Yeah.
Be realistic, because things are just caving.
Yep.
You know, I've not seen, what I've seen is that the prices haven't started dropping much, and that's part of the issue, is rates have got skyrocketed, but values are staying up, but they're not selling. And because this means that they're not adjusting the market, kind of Peter's talking about. So, and I personally think if you pull comps, you really can only go back a month or two. If you go back before May, they're not even valid comps, especially ones that sold over list
I don't even know
price.
if you can go back 2 months, to be really honest.
Yeah. and-
30 days is
Yeah.
really realistic.
That's probably true, and you have few comps to choose from, but just because someone sold a month ago at that price doesn't mean you're at that price today. It's just the way that interest rate, because 2 months ago, rates dropped back down to 5%.
Yep.
And that changes everything with numbers now, so.
I think rate buy downs are still gonna be good strategies for sellers and buyers, because $20,000 towards a rate buy down will go a lot further as far as the difference in their payment than $20,000 less on the purchase price, so.
Do you know how much 20,000 rate buy down to get you?
I don't know, but I have a $775,000 listing, and my clients said they would do 10,000, and they said it was 0.5%, so I'm thinking 20,000 on something that high would buy it down maybe 1%.
Did your
but-
lender tell you that? Because I've been looking at this and about 20,000 is like maybe 0.5%.
So we
Well,
bought
yeah,
I
down.
think it depends, it
Higher
depends
credit
on
score.
how much money
All
you have
depends.
down. My client this person had 40% down. So it really,
And
you
your
have to
price
look
point.
at
Depends on loan amount, I
their credit
guess.
score, because that affects the interest rate, how much they have
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I just
mean-
closed my son this morning, and he bought down $15,000, and that bought him up just over a point. So like a point and 1/8 or something like that.
So the biggest thing is credit
So-
score at that point.
It
Yes.
just, there's so many variables, you
Yeah.
really just have to look
There's a
at
ton
it.
of variables.
So
House
what
by
I've been
house.
seeing, I've only done probably 3 or 4 of this, but these new buyers are coming in doing an ARM, a 10-year ARM. and then buying the rate down a little bit too. The one I just closed probably a week ago, they got a 4.9 doing that.
It was a 10-year arm.
It was a 10,
So
well,
fixed for
amortized
10.
for 30, but fixed for 10.
But they have to balloon out of it in 10 or refinance.
Yeah. So what the lender was saying is we hope the interest rates will be down
By
in 10 by
then,
then. So,
And being below 7 is very realistic, right?
yeah.
I'm sure in the next 10 years, we're gonna go below 7 somewhere.
My first home was at 19.
You forgot. Okay, so for me, this whole thing comes down to just keeping on top of where the market's going, right? If you look in the past 2 weeks, when we talked about stats in July, inventory rates were fairly steady and had been for a couple of months. We had been right just above 6,000 listings on the market for about 2 months at the end of July. In August, we kind of stayed about the same. Since September 1st, we've added almost 800 listings. We were at 699.95 or something like that, 699.95.
What markets
yesterday.
are you looking at?
That's just the MLS, active listings on the MLS.
No, it was over
So-
10,000. Last weekend, it went over 10,000. I looked
On the
at-
MLS?
Yep,
I just barely pulled it yesterday. I'll look again.
just WFR, right? Or did
Yeah,
you talk
no,
about
straight up WFR.
just active listings?
Active listings only.
Yeah, I have a screenshot of it. I took a picture since
Nice.
then. So,
Well, I looked last night and it was only like just barely above 69.
so last night it was 9,900, and I don't know what we're maybe we're
I don't
looking
know.
at something.
Maybe my filter's wrong.
Huh.
The MLS always screws me up. So, anyhow, that's where to go. Let's look at top producers for Orem. Sorry, did you have a comment online?
I just pulled up the MLS. There's 9,928 active on the MLS right now.
We
So
went over
just about 10,000.
We went over 10,000 over the weekend, almost 11, almost 10,100.
Yeah, we're pushing inventory levels quite a bit just in the past few weeks.
So the problem is, it's not the fact that we're getting more listings, it's that no one can qualify for the listings.
Well, and let me ask this question because if anyone knows, because with rates being, with those numbers being there, I kept trying to think, when were we at 10,000 last? I mean, was that 10 years ago? Was that?
That's a good question.
6, 7 years? Does anyone
It's
recall?
been a bit.
Yeah, 2017, I believe, when I was last looking at stats, 2017 was the last time we were over 10,000. That was in June, July of 2017.
Okay, so we did hit that high then, okay.
But that was pre-pandemic, right? That was normal market, so
Okay.
we're kind of pushing back into that same territory.
So we're at what, 34 days on market right now?
Yeah, average 34.
And we're looking at, is it 60 days is considered a neutral market?
6 months of inventory on market is considered what it is, so I don't know where we are as far as our absorption rate. So it's not necessarily days on market. Grady?
So Edges does have 3% that you can use, 3% of the purchase price to buy down the rate.
Right.
And I have a lot of clients that have been doing that in order for them to even qualify.
Yeah, it's the only way that it really works for some of our clients.
It works.
All right, let's look at Orem stats. So these are our top producers for Orem, just from January 1 on. Tim Reynolds, you've got dollar volume is that side, and then number of transactions is this side. And so these are our top 5 producers in those particular areas. You notice the top 3 are the same in each of those, and then Sherry Beck and Dell pushed into the dollar volume, and Jody and Vivian pushed into the number of transactions. One of the main reasons I want to give this to you is that a lot of you are thinking, well, wow, they're absolutely amazing superhumans, right? How could they possibly be at the top of these charts? There's no way I could ever do that kind of thing, right? This is what I know about these people, right? I know this because I talk to them all the time. They show up every day for work. Every day they're working their butts off. They don't stop. They're always asking what they can be doing better in their work. They contact those they know. They're always talking about real estate. They're talking to people that they know, that like them, and that trust them. They educate themselves and their clients. They're always doing things to stay on top of the education piece. They lift those around them. In fact, a couple of the people on here are mentors for new agents, on top of the fact that they're doing amazing amount of deals. That's what they're doing for those around them. And then lastly, they're consistent in what they do. They're always doing it, right? These aren't people who have the normal real estate flow that goes up and down. They are consistent with what they do day over day. And so if you want to be on this list, do these things. I guarantee you'll be there. They're not, I don't know, Barb, are you like some abnormal, amazing realtor and that's why you're on this list?
Of course she is.
She married Peter, so
Well,
she
that's
is
probably-
above average for sure.
Right?
I'm guessing I'm more lucky
No,
than
it's-
she is.
It's just doing the basics and being consistent.
Todd, I mean, are you doing some incredible thing that nobody knows about, some top secret thing?
No.
Okay.
It's
And-
just incredibly gifted.
right, so that's the thing, Peter.
Even though I'm not on that list, I feel like I am.
Can we see the top 25, maybe? I like your spirit.
So what I was gonna say, all kidding aside,
Yeah.
it really comes down to communicating with your clients, with the people you know, with other agents. It's all about that. You have to stay up on top of things and constantly communicate and then try to work together to figure things out.
100%. Right. And this isn't going to change, right? The market changes. The market always changes. The market's either up or down or whatever it's doing, but there are always people moving. Somebody's always needing to move to a new home. We didn't sell a whole bunch of more real estate in the last 2 years just because of rates. We did it because people needed to move. People wanted to move into the Salt Lake Valley.
And the extra 300,000 on a house didn't hurt either.
Yeah, it didn't hurt, right?
It didn't hurt.
So there were actually factors that helped, but the reality is people are still moving. Today, no matter what rates go to, people are going to have to move for one reason or the other. So it's whether you're in front of those people and being able to help them, whether or not you're successful and on this list or not.
I heard Todd was advertising in California.
That's why we have so many deals.
Billboards and
Started,
buses
now I'm over in
in
China.
10 cities.
so I'm doing anything.
You're bringing them over on
Whatever it takes.
Okay, guys, wanted to talk about Cap for Life. If you haven't heard about Cap for Life, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but Cap for Life allows you, if you refer 4 agents over that join Fathom before February 2023, you are capped for life. And you no longer pay that $500 fee. All of your transactions from that point forward forever are going to be at the lower rate, so currently $99, right? And so all you have to do is refer over 4 agents, and that will take care of it. Couple of things, this doesn't replace the stock grant portion of it. So you also get paid the $500 for your first agent, $1,000 for agents 2 through 6, $1,500 6 through 11, and then over 11, $2,000 in stock on top of being capped for life. Also, if the transaction fee goes up, so let's say that in 2 years from now, Fathom says, hey, we've got to raise that transaction fee to $600, you're still capped. Right, so you're still capped no matter what that transaction fee goes up to. The agents that you refer over do have to have done at least 2 deals in the past 12 months. I don't think that's a huge thing, but just so that you know. A few ideas on who you might help. Agents on the other side of your deals are great people to reach out to. Just say, hey, how did it feel to pay that 30% that you just paid? I'd love to introduce you to someone that can help you not pay that. Agents who show your listings, when you reach out for feedback, good person to talk to. Agents who you show their listings, so when you go show their listings, you can talk to them. Friends and family who know other agents, so just reach out to the agents that you know their friends and family, and if your friends and family use other agents, like all my friends and family seem to do, talk about those.
You too,
right? At least you can, yeah.
Oh, you're a realtor?
I don't know what the deal is, but it seems like friends and family always use someone else unless you're doing it for free.
They don't want you to know things.
Exactly. Mentors. So we do need more mentors. We've had 6 new agents just in the past about 6 weeks come on board. In fact, we've got Cameron in the back corner back here. She's brand new, just graduated school, so she joined us.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's Cameron.
Cameron.
Uh-huh.
Cameron what?
Mendoza.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so, and these new agents coming on board all would like to get with a great realtor.
Could you get my name on her referral as she came over?
Yeah.
You don't know anybody else, do you?
Got it. If you're a mentor, you earn 20% on their first 3 transactions. It's 1 hour a week for 10 weeks is all you're spending. There's a 10-week course that you'll help them go through so that they learn the ropes. You'll be there for them. You'll answer questions. You'll help them through contracts and those kind of things. Fathom provides all the training resources and will help you with those resources as you're mentoring. And just so you know, this doesn't take away from me. I'm still there 100%. So as those agents need help, if they can't get a hold of you, or if you just suck, they can call me. So yeah, if you want to be a mentor, let me know. We do need more mentors. So we'd love to have you guys join the mentor program if you would like to be there and help other agents. Getting paid. So this is the giveaway time. Let me go back before you see all the answers. So giveaway time. If you know the answers to these, $10 Chick-fil-A gift certificate, gift card for answers. So first person to give me the answer. Okay, these are all on getting paid and not getting sued or fined. So these are all the questions on this, okay?
When the vet says it's okay.
When writing an offer, what is always required to be addendum 1?
There's money.
Barb,
Keep going.
you gotta be faster.
Yeah.
So the deposit of earnest money addendum with title. The penalty for this one is the possible lawsuit for whatever the earnest money amount is.
It's required to always be addendum 1?
Doesn't have to be.
Give that card back. Peter's not getting that card today.
Here's the reason I say that it should always be addendum 1, it's so that you don't forget it, right? If you want to put it in your initial package and do an FHA addendum and then do a deposit of earnest money, it can be addendum 2. What I'm trying to say is it needs to be in that
it is a
initial
required
offer
addendum.
package.
Yeah.
It needs to be there, right? Because we don't have a trust account. If you write an offer without it, you're telling the other brokerage that you're going to deposit it here and you're not. So that's incorrect. You're writing a wrong contract. We currently have an issue down south where we've got a huge lawsuit because the agent did not include an earnest money addendum with the initial offer. So be really conscious if you're writing an offer, just get used to making it your addendum 1 so you know what's in there. Right, just make sure.
So when you're writing an offer, you're just putting addendum 1 and then what?
Addendum 1 should be your deposit of earnest money with title addendum, always. Just pull that addendum into your package, make that your first addendum. That way you just know that it's always there. Okay? And then take your earnest money check over to Inwest Title and deposit it. It'll be great. Okay, question 2. What documents must be signed by the seller?
Buyer broker agency agreement.
Not a listing
Listing
agreement.
agreement.
Is that your final answer? Listing agreement?
Yeah, buyer broker. Yeah.
Listing
And a buyer broker.
Yeah.
Not a listing.
Listing agreement.
Wait,
That one.
you didn't buzz in on the third try.
We also have to have the WFR form.
Okay, so Todd's getting there. What are the 3 forms?
So you,
3 forms.
Listing agreement,
WFR, wire fraud.
Wire fraud, yes. Cameron, did you know those?
Oh, yeah.
That's it, you guys gotta split it.
All right, so you gotta have your exclusive right to sell. You've gotta have your MLS input
I'm like
sheet,
3 seconds behind.
and you've gotta have your wire fraud.
I'm gonna get one of them.
Barb told me that
Wire fraud
for
disclosure.
David.
Yeah, Barb told you, she's already got a card, you can only win once. Okay, so those are the 3, they've gotta be signed, they have to be signed by the seller before you publish the listing on the MLS. All 3 of them have to be, okay? Possible fines by the MLS, $1,000 for your first offense. If you publish and it's not signed, they will fine you $1,000. Second offense is $2,500. Third offense is $5,000. And then possible division action as well, because the division wants you to have agency for some reason before you start advertising a house for sale. I'm not sure why, but they tell you that. Okay?
What's not signed?
And if your ERS is not signed. And then possible loss of broker load. So if you continue to have offenses where you're publishing stuff, and I check these, I will take your broker load away and you'll have to go through us to get it published, and then it's just a pain for you guys. So just get the 3 documents signed and then we don't have to worry about it.
Hey, have you heard anything that's wrong listings? You know, with who I work with in other states, there are other MLSs outside of Utah. They have a section called listings coming soon that they can put on there without, I guess, all these things signed. Have you heard anything? Has there been any talk to, you know?
There's been that bantered around for a long time, but Utah's always been very adverse to it and doesn't want to do it. So I don't think that you're gonna see it anytime soon here. So it's not coming soon.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, next question. How soon do you need to upload your documents to IntelliAgent?
ASAP.
72 hours.
48.
48 hours.
48 hours.
ASAP covered that pretty much too.
Yeah, but sometimes that's 3 weeks for you.
Just kidding.
See, that's why I trumped everything to begin with when Bev says it's okay.
Yeah, so all fully executed documents have to be uploaded within 48 hours. That includes buyer broker. So when you get your buyer broker signed, even though you're not writing an agency an offer yet, that agency contract should be uploaded to the IntelliAgent system without an address, right? Within 48 hours. That gives us the opportunity as a broker to go in and take a look at your documents, make sure you have everything signed and done. Okay. Next question. Oh, sorry, a fine. There's no fine, but I don't really like it when you don't do that. What date goes in section 1 of the exclusive right to sell?
Expiration.
Yeah.
Do you have a card yet?
No, but he got it again.
Here,
I'm fighting for Cameron over
You
here.
can't win twice.
How many people put the today's date in there?
The expiration of the listing period, not the start of the listing, okay? Not today's date. This is probably number 1 on my list of things that I contact you guys about, is that you're putting today's date or tomorrow's date, the date that the listing's gonna start in there.
Started and ended.
That's not the date that goes in there, it's the last date, it's the expiration date of that listing, okay?
That means you don't have agency?
It does mean you don't have
25 days,
agency.
You don't have a listing?
Yeah, because you expired the same day that you signed it, so you have no agency, right? Okay, next question. Who marks your listings as sold on the MLS after closing?
I do.
Broker.
Good job.
Agent.
You didn't even know the reason, but you got the right answer.
I have a smart assistant.
Yeah, give that to your wife.
What?
Okay, so you, the listing agent, mark it as sold. It used to be with iPro, Beverly would go in and mark those all sold. That's not the case anymore. If you're the listing agent, you go in and mark those as sold after closing. Make sure that you get the concessions in. So if you have any seller pay closing costs and those kind of things, those should be listed in the MLS. There's a section to put them in to make sure that you get those in that sold
We put
listing.
in home warranty.
If it's a concession, right? Is $500 home warranty a concession?
I guess so. So would we, so if we had
Depends on who pays.
concessions, if they're paying part of closing costs and the warranty, just add them.
Add them together. Anything that they're paying towards their conceding to the buyer should be marked as concessions, okay?
I have a question though, because the title companies don't count a home warranty as concessions, they pay
Yeah, I don't.
on that, so.
Title company doesn't, but you should. I've asked the MLS and they
Okay,
said
because
anything that's
I
paid
always
towards the buyer should
thought
be listed.
It was what you got, got subtracted for the net that you got paid on your commission, not the home warranty or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
the MLS
okay.
said anything when I called
Okay.
them. So. They also want to make sure that you put the right financing in, so it'll ask you. So if you're not sure what kind of a loan the other side was getting, I don't know why you wouldn't know, but if you weren't sure, make sure and verify that so that you get the right thing when you mark that as sold. The fine, the MLS will fine you $20 a day that it's not marked as sold. You do have 5 business days to mark it as sold, and so you'll see often when you're on the buyer side that it will be a full 5 business days before the other side will mark it as sold, or sometimes longer. But just be aware, if it's more than 5 days, the MLS will fine you $20 a day for every day. So if you go,
When did that switch over from Beverly to, is that just?
as soon as we went to Fathom.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Sucks, I know.
It takes all of us.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Bev's amazing.
She
You
is
have to
amazing.
try to log into it, and then you have to change your password, and
Yeah.
then you have to log into it.
And then you've got to get your code texted to you. I know, it's hard.
Then I gotta call Jeff again.
Next question.
Figure out that.
When should you submit your file for commission instructions to be sent to title? When should you submit? Green button at the top. When
As soon as
should
it says you can submit.
You have the worst answers ever.
I think they were wanting to.
As soon as everything is submitted
At
in
least
order.
5 days.
7 days.
Okay, so the answer that we were given was 5 days, right? But it's a
Way to go, Brady.
minimum
Good
of
one. You
3
told Bart that
business
one.
days. Okay, so minimum, you.
No, that was her, I said it was.
I can't.
Oh,
print
thanks,
twice.
yeah.
So a minimum of 3 business days before closing. 5 is an acceptable answer because that's what we've been told in training, 5 days.
Funding request.
Before closing, submit your funding request, right? Submit your file so that it gets commission instructions to Amy so that she can actually get the thing put together and knows how to get your commissions paid to you, okay? If you submit after that, so if you submit 2 days before, 1 day before, or about an hour before, or 3 or 4 hours after, or a week after, right? Title's not gonna get instructions, they're not gonna know how to pay you, the money's just gonna sit in title. We do receive checks here often when you haven't submitted, we get the whole check here. And guess what we get to do?
And I will say
Oh,
that Fathom was really good because I had one that was a cash deal, started on Monday, and I thought we were gonna go 7 days after acceptance, which would have put us to the following Monday or 8 days after the Monday. Well, my clients were gonna be out of town, so we ended up doing that whole deal in 5 days. Started on Monday, did it in, got it done on Friday before they left out of town, and I was very close on all these dates. And they got it done.
One other thing too is if you are closing early, so let's say you were gonna close on the 30th, now you're closing on the 20th, let's say it's the 15th, so you're gonna submit that funding request. If you don't change the closing date in IntelliAgent to the 20th,
Yeah.
they think there's no rush, and it can take a week for that to actually process.
It stays at the bottom of the pack, right? They're always processing the ones that are closing the soonest.
So make sure.
So
you
just
fix that
change your
date.
closing date. That's a great tip. Thank you. So the fine, oh, sorry, I see a lot of stuck transactions. If you're submitting after closing, I see those get stuck in the IntelliAgent system. It's not by accounting or anybody, it's just we're trying to get it fixed, but there's a bug there where they kind of get stuck and we have to fix them. So just know if you submit late, it's not going to be great. And the fine is that Maya will hate you if you don't do this. They all come here and she has to send them all back to title, and she calls the title and she's like, I'm sorry, but we're sending it back and I know we're terrible. And she feels bad and they feel bad. It's just not good. So just submit your files. Okay. Next question. Should you tell title to send the full commission check to the office?
No.
I'm really passionate about this. My one stress.
You didn't have questions.
That's your one pet peeve?
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
Yeah. So no, the check will have to be returned to title and it will delay you getting paid. Okay, so Perry's whole check is written out to Fathom, the whole entire commission comes here. We can't do anything with it. We have to send it back. They need to send Fathom's portion to Fathom in California accounting, and your portion can come here to the office.
I
Okay?
just picked mine up in a full briefcase with
Stacks of
hundreds.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or hundreds.
So if you do table funding, right, this is the key to this. If you do table funding, then title is instructed to cut 2 checks, 500 to Fathom or 99 if you're capped, and the rest of it's cut here in your name. We touch the check because that's the stupid state rule, and we hand it to you. Okay, so that's what happens in table funding. So you can't ask to have your.
So it's a
checks
California rule?
No.
You said the stupid state.
Oh yeah. We're back. And the fine again. The fine on this one is also that Maya won't like you because
No, it's
again.
not that I won't like you.
I just don't know what you do.
Yeah, next question.
It's hard to know.
How does Fathom Accounting know who to email the commission instructions to?
You let them know.
Because we set it up in IntelliAgent.
Where?
Under
Contacts.
Okay, so in your contacts, there is a place for the settlement agent's email address. Okay, and if you put the email address in there, that's who commission instructions go to, right? So be aware that if this is wrong, if you put in some bogus email address just to get past the system, title will never get your instructions, so they won't be able to pay out, right? So make sure that it's right when you set that up in IntelliAgent.
Oh, I have a comment that doesn't really have anything to do with that, but I just did a transaction where I referred a client to another agent out of state with Fathom. And when they wrote my commission check, they made it out to my name instead of my LLC. So if you do a referral agreement with an agent in another state, make sure that on that referral agreement, you put your LLC and not your name.
Or call the title company and just make them aware
they'll make
ahead
the
of
check
time.
out wrong.
Yeah, good point, thank you. Okay, last question. What documents must be uploaded for a buyer transaction after closing?
MLS sold? And settlement
MLS
statement.
sold,
Buyer walkthrough.
And settlement.
buyer walkthrough,
Yeah.
settlement statement, okay. So your buyer final walkthrough, your buyer settlement statement, your MLS sold sheet, or a placeholder. The MLS sold sheet or placeholder, the placeholder is there because you don't have control over when the listing agent's going to mark it as sold. So if it's not sold yet, just upload the sheet that's in Fathom Resources that says that you don't control it. Okay. The fine on this one, and you guys probably get these emails all the time, hey, you haven't uploaded your closing documents, please do so. If you don't, you may lose the $40 stock grant per transaction. I've never seen them do it, but it's there, so just be aware of it. Okay, be safe, safety first, safety awareness. This month, being safe is extremely important to me for you guys, and I go over this way too often, so you're probably all bored of it. But just want to point out a couple things. Those are obviously in the wrong order. First, it's starting to get dark sooner, so be aware of that. Take a flashlight or those kind of things if you need it, if you're going to be out late at night. Agents, you guys are more desperate now. You're happy to go meet a cash buyer ready to buy any property at any price, right? So just be aware that, is this a real deal or is it not? Okay.
Now you just want to see if there really is a cash buyer.
Yeah, right.
You're a cash buyer, really?
Yeah. Is
I'm gonna bring
there
friends.
such a thing? Right. Be super mindful of who you're with, and what's going on around you. Remember the red file keywords. So if at any point in time you need help, you can call me or Maya and just say, hey, I need the red file on 123 Main Street. We'll know immediately that you need help, and we will get help to you at the address that you give us.
You take volunteers for that too?
To go help? Yeah. Meet at the office first, if at all possible, if you're meeting someone you haven't ever met before. Have someone you check in with regularly when you're doing showings and open houses. And I'll say that also, feel free to call me. I'm happy to sit around the corner or go with you to an appointment. I went with Shalana to an appointment. So just know if you guys need that, I'm always happy to do that if you don't feel comfortable. Okay. And have someone else accompany you, husband or whoever, a friend, if you don't know who they are. Okay.
I'd also put in a recommendation if I've got a buddy that teaches a concealed carry class, and he's really good at it, teaches lots of, not only the laws of it, but he can take you to pick out a gun and also shoot with you.
Shoot it for you?
Different thing, yeah, come with you all the time, but no, to go and shoot and have the range time and practice that way. But
Yeah, self-defense and concealed carry, very good classes. Okay.
one note, actually, go ahead.
Peter just has a joke.
No!
That's why I love Peter.
I just blurt those out. So another thing would be on open houses. You should do that with somebody, even if you're male or female, it doesn't matter. You should have somebody else there with you.
And do a sign-in sheet always, not just for buyer leads, but always do it just for your own safety. Surprisingly, if you haven't heard my open house story, and if you have, sorry, but I sat an open house one time. Had a sign-in sheet. This couple and their 18-year-old son came in. Everybody signed in. Halfway through the showing with them, the son said, "Hey, I need to use the restroom. Is that okay?" I said, "Sure." He went and used the restroom and then left out the front door. We finished the tour and the couple left, and I went to go back to work and my laptop was gone. Luckily, they had signed in with the right address and phone number, and so the police went over to the house and got it back, and he said, "Well, I just needed it for a Christmas present."
Did the parents, so the parents didn't know, did they?
I don't think the parents knew, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I know that program,
Forewarn,
has
great
helped
program.
me in one situation. An individual called, says a cash buyer, I happened to just look him up, I didn't know who he was. He just barely declared bankruptcy just 6 months ago.
There you go.
I don't know whose cash he was using.
That's the only way he's gonna buy something.
Tim knows a bunch of people like that. You guys don't want to get together.
Well, that's
He's
I
got a whole
talked to him
book
about.
full of people.
We
that
trade
have-
clients back and forth.
Especially if you got a buyer in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
So on the, so on the safety note, for the ladies in here, I used to work for Sully County Sheriff's Department. Pepper spray works really well. Specifically, there's a brand called Saber Red. You can get it on Amazon for about $15. I've given it to all my sisters. I have 5 of them. I would recommend that. It works. We had to get sprayed with it in training twice. It's like torture. It's not like getting, lemon juice sprinkled in your eye or something. It's like somebody poured gasoline on your face and lit a match.
Oh, wow.
So you're not thinking about anything except trying to breathe when you get sprayed with it. So for those that aren't comfortable with the idea of, handling a firearm or using a firearm, which I'm very adept at myself, but for anyone who's not, that pepper spray is a really, really good second choice. And it also works great on dogs and
There you go.
cougars, so there you go.
Heather pulled hers out, so if you want another shot, she's happy to give you a shot.
Is that the same one?
Yes. That's kind of the keychain version. There's one that's a little bit bigger than that, Saber. There's one that's a little bit bigger than that shoots 18 feet. And it's the one that I carried. It's about probably 2 inches in diameter and maybe 4 inches tall. That's the one I'd recommend because you've got like 18 bursts that you can use with that thing, and it shoots 18 feet.
Nice.
That one shoots about 12.
So are you affected, like when you spray it?
Only if you're spraying into the wind.
Or pointed the wrong way.
Tell them to go down.
Your secondary effects of it can
you guys move around
but
the other
it's not gonna debilitate you.
Right.
Whereas somebody that gets sprayed in the face, even if it doesn't hit your eyes, it's an inflammatory, so you can't breathe. If you're trying to breathe, it inflames your nasal passages, which I didn't know when I got sprayed. I'm like, oh, this is gonna hurt. I got sprayed, I'm like, I can't breathe.
Horse red as
What
well.
kind is it again? What kind is it? Saber Red.
And I would recommend,
It's the one that shoots 18 feet.
if you do buy it, don't just spray some in your house just to see what it'd be like. I did that once on a date years ago.
It smells like rotten
I thought
apples.
it'd be, they had, I was like, let's just see what it's like, and I just did the tiniest spray and we had to clear the whole house.
Who are you dating?
Yeah, I could just tell you her parents were.
Eric's got a comment. Go ahead, Eric.
You did it in her house?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Her parents didn't appreciate
Oh,
that.
God.
Okay, all yours.
Okay. And you can vouch for this. There's security in concealed carry. But if you pull that gun out and you were wrong, even if you don't fire it, you're going to jail probably, and you're gonna be sued.
I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a court case for it, so.
Yeah.
It's just.
So it's good to get training.
It's-
It's not just shooting.
It's
but-
just a lot
Yeah,
less.
get trained.
It's just a lot less permanent if you.
Just get trained. Harry carries. I know a number of people do. So if you're gonna carry, just make sure you're trained, understand what you're doing. And if you're not gonna be trained, this is another great way to go. The overarching theme is just be really safe out there.
You're probably gonna get sued anyway, spraying some dude in an
Right.
open house with pepper spray.
Right, yeah.
I mean, right? Really, I mean.
You just
in
happened
this
to be
day
a
and age,
neighbor who brought a cookie and you accidentally sprayed it.
I'm 100% about being safe, and for anybody, myself included, if pepper spray is gonna stop someone, I would much rather do that. because I think safety is very important.
There's also a perception, and you have to realize
Well,
that.
back when we had all the short sales going on in 2000, what, 8, 9, right in there, do we have tons of short sales then?
Keep going.
Right, yeah, I know it was a long time. I mean, there was homes that we would go in to sell, we'd have them, and all of a sudden you get there and there's no power on. So now we're flashlights and, you know, trying to go through a home that has been some type of rig locks that weren't locks, getting into house, right? To get into them, and so, yeah, it was very interesting
I showed
times.
2 vacant homes that end up having
People in them.
some
Squatters.
squatter there that.
Yep.
the same thing.
Yep, I've done that twice
They
also.
were there, but their mattresses down in the basement and all their stuff.
You
and
went in the front door, they're going out
People
the
there.
window.
And the house was supposed to be vacant, and I'm like.
Okay, other
Peter, were you
questions,
there?
other comments?
Well, I was gonna say, potentially that could be happening in the future.
Yeah, for sure. It could happen today. I mean, it really doesn't matter if we're in a short sale market or not.
No.
If you're showing a vacant home.
Just
you
so
guys
I was
have
just gonna say
much
as a
ability.
follow-up, there is a perception, and with females, they tend to get more slack than males for whatever reason. And so I personally would recommend every female carry some, just in case. I mean, for no other reason, it makes you feel safe, you know, and then your body language and confidence changes, and you're not perceived as a victim, which is also a big part of not getting attacked.
Thanks, Jeremy. Okay, other questions, comments? Okay, we'll be done then. Thank you for being here. Oh, sorry, one more thing, last thing. Thanksgiving pie event coming up. I know we're ways away from Thanksgiving, but it's time to start thinking about it. It will be Tuesday, the 22nd of November. We will have all the stuff set up here. It's very easy event for you guys. You just basically buy the pies and come. We'll do the rest. Cost is very low. It's the cost of however many pies you want to buy, plus about $50 an agent is all. So it's really low. It's a great touch for your clients. My clients love it every year. In fact, I just showed a home to clients and their kids, and the mom said, "Hey, this is our realtor," and the kid said, "Hey, that's the pie guy, right?" I'm the pie guy, right? So it's all about recognition, staying top of mind. So it's a great one. If you want to participate in that, Maya sent out an email a couple of days ago, so look for that, or just let her know that you want to participate. We'll get you on the list. Really great event.
On the upcoming CE classes, is that mandatory 3-hour training? Do you have to do that every 2 years?
Every 3 years, it's a 3-year cycle.
Okay.
That 3-year cycle just started again in January. 90% of the brokerage does not have this right now. If you want to know if you have it, call me, I'll let you know. Or just text or email.
Is it here?
It's gonna be here.
We have a
It's a
time?
3-hour mandatory,
Oh, they're
10
all at
a.m.
10.
They all start at
10.
10. They're all here.
So if you were an agent 3 years ago, chances are you have to take it this year.
Yep. Yeah, because it all started over again in January. So you've got to take that sometime before your next renewal
Okay.
in order to get renewed. So this is a really great one to be here for.
Covered.
So
I just want to add, if Peter shows up and there's yellow tape over those chairs, that means I already booked him the night before. Just so you know.
Caution.
You'd have to have somebody else come put it
You
on.
might want to bring some duct tape.
You better push that into
I might
Jeff's
take it home
office.
the day before.
all right, guys, thanks for being here. Grab donuts
What's
on
the
the way
next
out.
for, Bart?
What's
Tell
the
Maya if you want to be part of the Thanksgiving.
Brian Rock Day
Class
every
on the
10
ninth.
10 a.m.
10 to 1.
That's true love.
20th.
I should have put times on there.
10 a.m.
Also, this is a core class,
This one's core, this one's not. This one's core, obviously, 3 hours.
but they all have CE attached.
Yep.
They all do.
Do we
They're
have
all
to sign
CE.
up for the mandatory 3-hour training class?
We'll do a head count type thing,
Yeah.
sure, just so that we know how much food to have there, excluding no mortgages, bring food for
Todd, how
it.
did you get started? Did you do a lot of FISBO?
That's all it was, primarily expired. Yeah, those were the days when we had a program.